Why is it so hard for me to forgive myself? Why can't I just accept the past? Like, why is it so hard for me to let go? Like, why do I keep having these emotions and feelings? Like, why am I so overwhelmed? Like, why is it so hard? And scene. I get it. You're understood and you're not alone. I should be an actress, but this isn't about me. This is about you. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And in this video, we're going to talk about why it is so hard for you to forgive yourself. And once again, anything that I suggest to you guys, I'm relating to you. I got it. So this is not a place to judge you or to shame you. But what you need to know before we can get into how you're going to forgive yourself, because that's the goal. We come up with solutions over here. We hold you accountable. You need to know the cause and effect. That's how I like to break it down. That's how we're going to simplify it. We don't like to make things problematic, chaotic, or more than what it needs to be. So the common reasons that I have for you in this video on why it may be so challenging for you to forgive yourself is, number one, starting off with your self-esteem. I'm going to list five common reasons why it may be challenging for you to forgive yourself and 5 solutions that you can apply to see the results that you want. But number one is self-esteem. So when it comes to your self-esteem, you can be very self-critical of yourself. You could be hard on yourself. You could beat yourself up. The reason why you may have low self-esteem issues is because you made certain choices in your past. You made certain choices where they were mistakes. Maybe you were never taught on how to overcome adversity. Maybe you never experienced adversity, okay? There is no right or wrong way to heal yourself. So if you doubt yourself, if you're constantly worrying, if you're not really confident or secure in yourself, you're going to feel insecure. And having insecurities could be a reason on why it is so hard for you to forgive yourself. The second thing is your environment. So like I've stated, if you were never taught on how to communicate effectively or to deal with your emotions or to suppress your feelings, because having feelings is weak, showing vulnerability is weak, or people are going to take advantage of you, you don't know any better. If you grew up in an environment where it was chaotic, it was problematic, everyone was yelling, they were using profanity, you were abused psychologically, emotionally, mentally, you were taken from, or you grew up in just corruption or just less fortunate, you only know what you've been exposed to. So you don't know what's right or wrong, and you're not going to know until it's time for you to unlearn and learn information, or you're exposed to certain situations where you have to make decisions for yourself, or maybe you don't have anybody there. So your conditions is the third thing. Your conditions, like I said, plays a major part. You now can suffer from anxiety because you're overwhelmed, you're overstimulated, you don't know how to communicate, you're silent. You could be depressed. You're constantly holding on to the past. You're constantly worrying about what happened to you. You're constantly, feeling bad because you didn't speak up. You weren't able to vocalize. You weren't able to release. You weren't able to find ways to cope with how you feel. It could be anything. So like having limited beliefs also plays a major part on why it's so challenging. So the fourth thing is empathy. When you feel connected to yourself or the people, places, and things that harmed you, it is going to be hard for you to sympathize with yourself. And I get it. Some people may disregard this, but a lot of people do have empathy towards the people that hurt them because they feel like they would have never done that to them. Like you would have never done that to them. You would have never put those people in harm's way or done anything intentionally to them, because that's not who you are, but because they did it to you, you feel some type of way. There's an attachment issue. So that's the fifth thing, okay? So number one was self-esteem issues, your environment, your conditions, having empathy, and having attachment issues are 5 of the common reasons that we're going to list in this video on why it's so hard for you to forgive yourself. So now that you've been exposed to that information, make sure you like this video, you're commenting, you're sharing, and you're following us for more. We got to come up with solutions. Now, of course, if you don't know and if you're new here, there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself. Healing is going to take your entire life, or depending on how accessible and tangible it is for you to see results, it may vary for everyone. So like you can't necessarily force yourself to heal, and you can't necessarily tell someone how to feel. So I always tell you guys to take what resonates and leave the rest. If these videos are for you, cool. If they're not, share them to somebody who are or is working for them, and do what works for you. You know you more than anybody else. Nobody else knows you the way you know yourself, okay? So the first thing you have to realize with that is, number one, change behavior. So this is one of the solutions that I have for you in this video. If you feel guilty, which it's common to feel guilty, change your behavior. If you are embarrassed, or if you are ashamed, change your behavior. I don't know if you guys heard the saying, the best apology is change behavior. If you feel guilty about something that you've had to learn from or you had to overcome from, because once again, you didn't have the finances, you didn't have the family, you didn't have the support, you didn't know what you know now, you cannot continue to do what you were doing. If you know better, you do better. Change your behavior. So if you weren't somebody who used to know how to communicate in your past, learn to communicate when you have issues. If you were somebody who always spoke up and didn't watch your tone or realize how it affects other people, learn how to watch your tone and realize how you say certain things affects other people. Regardless of what it is, change your behavior. In order for you to change, you got to do things differently. But you can't beat yourself up and be hard on yourself, because if you didn't know any better, you have to accept that you only know what you know. And that's the second thing. You have to allow yourself to grieve. You have to allow yourself to have grace. So you got to be compassionate towards yourself. If you made certain choices like myself, and I didn't have the finances, I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the guidance, I didn't have the support, I didn't have the family, the friends, or whatever it was that you and I both lacked, I don't need to sit here and continue to beat myself up. I made certain choices. You made certain choices based off of where we were in those situations and what we knew and what we've been exposed to. It's not until we're no longer in situations where we have a hindsight and we have a bird's eye view, a perspective of what happened, how it made us feel, what everybody else did, and what we can do moving forward. Just because things are happening to you in the moment doesn't mean you have to stay stuck there. It's a mental battle that people are battling with, and that's why people have PTSD. That's why people are depressed and have anxiety, ADHD, 1, 2, 3. All of these things have cures, okay? And you guys know I'm very natural, but without getting too far or discrediting people who heal differently, there are solutions to every problem, okay? So as you're learning to come up with these solutions, okay, you have to realize that when you're healing yourself, you have to take time. You got to give yourself grace, and you're going to experience withdrawals. In a lot of the videos previously, we talk about withdrawals. If you guys want separate videos about withdrawals, let me know by dropping the word withdrawals in the video, or just your experience. Withdrawals is unlearning and learning information, shedding or transitioning. So if you used to be angry, mad, and frustrated, and you want to become happy, uplifting, and positive, you're going to feel a lot of emotions, mentally, emotionally. Some days are going to be challenging than others. You're going to be triggered easily. You may want to lay down one day. You may feel happy the next. You may be crying one day. Like, it's a back and forth battle that you have to reprogram and unlearn and learn information that's working for you. So the third thing is confrontation. Confrontation does not have to be aggressive, negative, or assertive. Just because you're confronting, which is confirmation, look it up, okay? Confrontation is confirmation. When you are confronting something, you are addressing your issues. Address what has happened to you. Acknowledge how it makes you feel verbally, emotionally, mentally, physically. Write it down. Go outside, go for a walk, book a session with us, go to a therapist, express yourself, confront it, address the issue, and apologize. I'm not telling you to forgive other people or to apologize to other people, because that's a different topic for a different video, okay? But apologize to yourself for not knowing what you know now. So in this video, when you see this, all I ask is that you put in the comment section, I apologize to myself, you put your name, for whatever it is that has happened to you, or I forgive myself. So for example, I'll just say I apologize to Ty for not knowing what I know now, and I forgive myself. That's it, other than liking, sharing, and reposting. But you gotta practice forgiveness for yourself. If you were 5 years old, you were touched on inappropriately, you didn't know no better, you gotta forgive yourself. It wasn't your fault. If you were 20 years old and you got into a car accident because you didn't know how to drive, or somebody hit you, or you hit them, it wasn't nothing you could do about it other than be in that situation. If your parents were divorced, if you were in poverty, if your lights went out, if you were beaten up, if you lost a tooth, whatever it is, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. You got to be patient with yourself. You got to be gentle with yourself. So the fourth thing is spending alone time. You guys know that a lot of, once again, It sounds redundant and it sounds repetitive, but it's like, it's very similar. You have to make time for yourself. You got to forgive yourself, but you have to be alone. You have to be in solitude. Like, take some time to do things where you appreciate your own company. So go for a walk, listen to music. The same way you sleep in the bed and you poop and pee by yourself, okay? The same way you brush your teeth by yourself and take a shower, go out to eat. Go to the movies, go to the park, go to the gym, go to the mall. As long as you're not harming yourself and others and you're being productive, and once again, you're not putting yourself in danger or surrounding yourself with danger, do something by yourself. Draw a picture of yourself. Watch a movie, play a video game by yourself, do your hair by yourself, do your nails, whatever you like to do, whatever makes you feel good, do it alone. Just make some time with yourself. The longer you sit with yourself, the longer you're going to go through these emotions, and you'll realize what's affecting you, how it's affecting you, and how we're going to move forward. But most importantly, there's no timeline, so you cannot rush your healing journey. It is a process. Once again, it could vary. It could take years, it could take months, it could take days. But if you're like myself, if you're constantly growing and evolving, it's going to take some time. So lastly, you just got to make a decision. You just have to commit to yourself. You have to know that if you want to forgive yourself, that this is going to happen. And when it happens, this is what you're going to start to expect. You have to know that when you're doing things, there's going to be an outcome. So no more second guessing yourself, no more doubting yourself. If you're saying when you come across this video that you're going to forgive yourself, start expecting to genuinely forgive yourself. So I expect to forgive myself, so that means I'm going to start expecting to see change, because I know this is going to work out for me. You have to know that it's going to work out for you in order for you to see the results that you want, and this takes time. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, tongue twister, I'm not editing this, feel free to comment down below. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. Welcome or welcome back. I don't know if I introduced myself, but it's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ty_Guidance, TY_GUIDANCE, and at TikTok at TYI.guidance. All the information will be down in the description box below. And if you want a one-on-one session, click the link and go to my website. I do have bookings and sessions. My website has been updated. I don't have as many services that I used to, because we're just going with the flow this year and this month. So follow for more and stay tuned. Make sure your post notifications on, and love you. Bye.